When people think of winter in Canada, they generally think of two things: frigid temperatures and snow. And they're not wrong. Most of Canada is covered in a blanket of the white stuff for months on end every single year. But there is one notable exception. 20 kilometers off the west coast of Canada, in the Pacific Ocean, is an island that boasts the mildest temperatures in the entire country. Now, it's still cold here. Don't let the tropical location fool you. It's just a different kind of cold. You can still find snowy adventures in the forests, along paths as you wind your way through the trees. You can still find ice-covered lakes to explore. But it's all just a little bit different in the midst of the winter wonderland that is Vancouver Island. My name is Dan King, and I live on an island in the Pacific Ocean off the west coast of Canada. Over the last few years, I've been showing off this incredible place that I call home to people from all over the world. Last season, it was all about my favorite summer destinations. But this time around, I'm inviting you to join me in exploring the beauty of the winter months here. And I want to introduce you to some of the interesting people that I've met along the way. Welcome to Vancouver Island Explored, Winter Wonderland. Well, welcome. And we're in the community park here in Parksville on the east coast of the island. This is a community that really is known as a summer destination, but it comes alive in the winter months as well. Now, I mentioned that things are a little bit different here in the winter, and I wanted to take a second to explain that because it's January right now. And if you look around, this is probably not what you expect from the middle of winter in Canada. But at least on the coasts of the island here, it does snow. It doesn't snow a lot. We maybe get 3 or 4, 5 or 6 days a year. But when that white stuff does fall, it's time for people to get outside and enjoy it while it's here. Well, Vancouver Island is a very large place for sure. 32,000 square kilometers in size, with a mountain range that runs right up the center. And that means that snow is never very far from any particular place. But it's not right here, at least not right now. But it was just a few weeks ago. Well, considering there's only a couple days every year with actual snow on the hill, and I'm here with you guys right now, I grabbed the sled, I'm gonna head up the hill, and let's try this out and see what all the fun is about. What do you love about when it snows in Parksville and on the island?
Well, it's rare, so it's kind of nice to have it. It's fun. The kids have a good time.
To be honest, my favorite place to go in the winter on Vancouver Island is just the hill at Parksville Community Park. I'm a local guy. I love Parksville, and it's just a simple, great part of living in this part. There's always enough snow that you can do fun things like ski and snowboard and toboggan with the kids. So those are all wonderful parts of winter on Vancouver Island.
So some of my favorite things about winter on Vancouver Island is you get both the ocean and the mountains. It's my favorite part about the island in general, but there can be snow and you can go to the beach and there's some snow on the beach and but you can also go up the mountain and just be like knee deep in snow and tubing, and you just get both ends of the nature spectrum on the island, so we're very lucky here. Definitely Mount Washington. I'm a skier, so I love going up there, but I also like going to Witchcraft Lake, which is in Nanaimo, and the lake is sometimes frozen, so that's super cool. A couple winters ago, Westwood Lake was frozen, so that was super cool too. So anywhere that there's snow this time of year, I love to be there, so yeah.
I feel like the snow just adds a little bit of an extra entertainment value. You go for a walk during the summer or any other day, it seems kind of the same, but snows a little bit, suddenly you're in a whole different city. It's a winter wonderland.
One of the things that people love most about this place, Vancouver Island, is the ability to move from a urban setting in towns and cities out to being surrounded by nature in just a matter of minutes. One of my favorite places to come and wander in the woods is here at Milner Gardens and Woodlands. At one point it was named one of the 10 best public gardens in all of Canada. And it's 60 acres of woodlands and another 10 acres of gardens surrounding this old heritage house. But for me, the favorite time of the year to wander these paths is at Christmas time, at night, when it's all lit up aglow with these twinkling lights. Walking in the forest with all these visitors to the gardens is always a winter highlight. I remember the first time walking these paths. It was this dazzling experience. I was surrounded by thousands of twinkling lights all strung up in the trees, and the festive window displays at the historic Milner house and the gardener's cottage. Eventually we would wander along and find ourselves with Santa and Mrs. Claus, and she would show us pictures of Santa with the reindeer, which I would never get tired of seeing. There was just something so magical about it. So if there's one more location that I can bring you to before we conclude this first chapter of our time together here on Vancouver Island Explored Winter Wonderland, it's here to Englishman River Falls. It's a provincial park just, again, a few minutes away from the downtown urban core of Parksville. All of a sudden you're surrounded by the beauty of nature, and depending on what time you come here to Englishman River, it looks completely different. Right now it's winter, and so the water levels are running much higher, and the waterfall is much bigger, and the mist is filling the air. It's something you can only experience during the winter months here on Vancouver Island. Before we leave this place, we'll talk to a few people and ask them what they think about winter on Vancouver Island and what they think about here in Englishman River Falls. It's a beautiful, beautiful spot, and it's just the first of so many spots that we're going to travel together this season. Let's go.
Well, as we mentioned, we're from Ontario, so it's just very different to what we're used to. Like, we can be outside at any point. Like, it's January, usually we're, you know, stuck in our homes, and it's like so snowy we can't do anything, but now we can go out and explore nature, and we can actually see green, which is really awesome. I love green, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I would say my favorite part is being out in the forest. You can feel the fresh air and how much better it feels just for your health, honestly. Like, that's a huge part of it, and we were talking about that today on the trails and how good it feels to be soaking in the forest and on the trails.
Breathing
And
fresh air.
Exactly.
The amount of trails that are accessible and available to us, range of difficulty, and just being able to drive whatever distance you want to drive, and you'll find a forest anywhere along the highway, wherever it is. I think that's my favorite part.
Yeah, I have one to add. If it's raining down here, you can go up in the mountains and it's probably snowing, so you get a whole different experience, which is incredible. All in the same day.
Amazing. Who's this?
Sorry, he's just eating everything.
This little guy loves it.
Yeah, it's been really great exploring with the dog. I think that's one of my favorite parts.
Well, what a great way to begin our winter wonderland experience together right here on Vancouver Island. Starting in the city, moving to the woods, and then ending up at the waterfall. 3 beautiful glimpses and so many more to come. And I can't wait to introduce you to so many new friends that I've made along the way. Here's a quick glimpse at what's coming next.